What's up, guys? Welcome to VGU.TV's PlayStation podcast, the DualShock Show, where we only talk about everything PlayStation. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Mobley, alongside, as always, Tom Freeman.
Hello.
And Allan Muir.
I had the worst dream possible like 2 days ago.
Tell me about your dream, Allan. I want to know what it is.
I got friend zoned by Victoria Justice.
Oh no.
I don't know who that is, but that sounds horrible.
Yeah, the whole dream made no sense. I was like, why am I here? Why am I here with a celebrity? This can't be real.
Why is this happening to me? I like the kind of dreams where you're like, this has to be a dream, but like you're still like half of you is still convinced like maybe it's real.
Then part of me thought, is this am I on a TV show?
Am I being punked? Where's Ashton?
Oh no.
As if Punk's still on the fucking air.
Where's Justin Bieber?
Where's that Biebs?
Stop it, children.
That's what I wanted to say last week when Justin Bieber was at the Anne Frank museum or whatever.
Oh, God.
And he signed the guest book and he goes, I hope she would have been a believer. I was like...
Playing his music as she got dragged off by the Gestapo, yeah.
I was like, am I being punked here? Like, is your entire career just a massive joke? Yours and Kim Kardashian's? It's ridiculous. And actually, somebody when I was looking through it, there was a tweet. Somebody tweeted. It said, "Would Anne Frank have been a believer?" No. In fact, millions of people blindly following an idiot was the reason she was in that attic in the first place.
Yeah, I saw that. That was brilliant.
You know, DualShock Show.
Video games.
VGU.TV's PlayStation podcast. VGU.TV's Anne Frank podcast.
Yeah.
We're all believers here.
Oh, no.
Okay. Listeners, every week we kick off the DualShock Show with a section that we call "What Have You Been Playing?" It's pretty self-explanatory. Allan, you were telling us earlier that you had a lot of bad games that you've played this week, and that just tickles me because I'm just excited to make fun of you.
So I played Game of Thrones again.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I played some more Syndicate.
Oh,
I wrote a feature on it,
Oh.
telling people why they should play it.
Ah.
Hey, say what you want about like scoffing at it. It actually did pretty well critically.
I've heard some good things about the game. So I don't know a single person who has it apart from you.
Yeah, I remember when Syndicate came out, I was just like, You know what's funny though is side note. I used to have an app on my phone, the Wiki app, for video games. In case I was like, where's this collectible? I could just open it up and be like, okay, find the list of games. Red Dead Redemption. All right, where's this fucking horse that I've been trying to find for 3 years? But because I never did find that horse. But right at the bottom, as though like forgotten by time, was Syndicate Wiki. I was like, who still plays Syndicate?
Now you know.
That and Tor. I was like, what the fuck even is Tor?
Oh yeah, geez.
Next week, Allan gets Tor.
Did you play online with Syndicate?
I'm not sure if there is online play.
I wasn't sure. No, might be thinking of the wrong game.
But man, that game is brutal.
Is it?
Not hard. I mean, there was a certain point where I got a minigun.
You're just like, it's not hard in difficulty, it's just really hard to play.
I'm pretty sure, I think the game got banned in Australia because how gory it is.
Oh, jeez.
But then again, everything gets banned in Australia.
Yeah. I remember there was an episode of Cinematech back when G4 was, cool. And my brother and I, we didn't grow up with video games. Like, our father thought that it distracted us too much from our school. We were kind of like zombies and all that bullshit because he didn't have video games, so why should we? I guess. He sold my brother's N64. He sold my Sega Genesis. He locked up our Game Boy Colors.
Damn.
And for a while, we only had it for like a half an hour every night. He'd take them out and be like, okay, 30 minutes. And that's not near enough time. Anyway,
And look where you are now.
So, I almost lost my train of thought. Cinematech. When my brother and I found G4, we used to watch Cinematech all the time because it was kind of like our only way to keep up with the gaming world since we didn't play video games. And what I was going to say is, you said that the Syndicate was banned and that a lot of games are banned in Australia. I actually remember there being an episode of Cinematech where they talked about banned games. Not talked about, they just showed trailers for banned games, and then like there was a little crossbar at the very top that was like banned in this country for this reason. And I remember the last game was Pokemon Red and Blue.
Really?
Yeah, it was, and they were just playing this fucking Pokemon trailer, and it was like banned in, God, I can't even remember. I think it was like, I want to say Saudi Arabia, but that sounds like too far fetched. But it was banned somewhere, and it was for like possession or like
Oh god.
mind control, because people thought that they were just so into it that they were being possessed.
I know Korea got like a mature rate. Ni no Kuni got a mature rating because it had like gambling in it and stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be something like that.
Speaking of possession, the developer of the Reservoir Dogs game, turns out they actually did Dead to Rights Retribution, and that canceled zombie game Possession.
Oh.
I forgot that a Reservoir Dogs game was even in existence.
Yeah, no, and I remember why I confused it so much with King and Lynch. It was put out by Eidos.
Is it?
Yeah.
Talking about banned games, did any of you play Rockstar's Manhunt game?
I played Manhunt a long time ago.
I played Manhunt 2 religiously on my PSP.
I never played Manhunt 2, but I played it.
I remember they had it was on Wii, wasn't it, Manhunt 2?
Yeah.
Manhunt 2 was on
actually
Wii
had
and
you,
PS2.
It actually had you doing like the controls.
I had a friend who used to work at GameStop, and you know how parents, they just don't pay attention. I guess they just don't get the ESRB. So one kid came up, he was had to be maybe 10 years old. And he's like, I want to get this Manhunt too. And she's like, I need your parents to sign off on this. And, he brings his mom up and he's like, is this okay? He wants this game. And she's like, no, you literally see a guy, fucking hanging from his neck from the rooftop, or from the roof of his cell. And she's like, you're not fucking getting this game.
Aw, see, you're horrible. You should have told them it's just like Wii bowling. Just ruined someone's dreams.
But yes, I did play the first Manhunt, never finished it, because I just got to a point, as everybody knows, I'm horrible at stealth games. So I only got so far before I was like, I just can't.
To be fair, that game was pretty bad, control-wise.
Yeah, the controls are not very good.
It had that thing where you had to kind of hold it down to get the more gruesome kills. But
you had to get closer.
Closer. I'm pretty sure you had to hold it down as well so it went from green to red.
I think so. Yeah. I think you had to hold it down. It was pretty gruesome. Controls were not great, but if those controls had been tightened up in that game and been better, that would have been a really good game.
It's a bit messed up still.
It's still a bit messed up, but I mean, that one was also on that Cinematech. It was banned. Yeah.
So Allan,
stepping on your toes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Before I get to the third bad game I was playing, I did at least play some a good game. I played Saints Row the Third.
Oh,
yay! Have you played that before, or is this your first time?
I played it on. I beat it when it came out on 360.
Right.
But now you're playing it on a better machine.
Yeah, on the superior machine.
The superior machine.
Yeah.
So how are you liking it? Again.
That was great.
I love it. Those first two missions are my favorite, honestly.
I don't know. I really like the Deckers Must Die missions.
That one is good. I also love
the text adventures. Hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was some. I kept going on. It's who makes the fucking floors in this game? Because like every time you die, it's like you trip on a loose tile and fall flat on your face. You kill yourself. In the text event, it's like like every time you die, you're like, who makes the fucking floors?
Yeah. He says different things for each line, yeah.
Yeah, I seriously, I could figure out where I've died a couple of times, but I figured out the right way, but I was like, I want to die a couple more times just to see everything that I can. But, that one is also a really good mission, but I also, the one where they're on the Syndicate's plane, that one is probably one of my favorites, especially just like when he catches Shondi, and then like, it's like, he's like, so, you remember how happy you were when I caught you? He's like, yeah, just remember that, you son of a bitch!
Yeah.
And then he just, like, flies through the jet, just like...
doesn't even achieve anything, and he's like, oh.
No, he just, like, he flies through the jet, doesn't touch the ground at all, he's, like, just flying through, grabs the guy, punches the shit out of him, takes his parachute, and flies out the back. Oh, man, that's such a good mission.
I just didn't like how they killed Johnny Gat off screen.
Yeah, Johnny Gat...
He's obviously going to come back.
No, he's a zombie.
Yeah, but he is in that game, but I think he's going to come back in the next.
They cloned him.
They'll retcon it.
My question, though, who's going to die in Saints Row 4? Because this is clearly a theme.
Oh, yeah, also, spoilers. The ending means one character is or isn't in the next game as well.
Yeah, they kill Shondi in one of the endings.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose, we were talking about this in the chat the other day, it's either going to be Shondi or Pierce, because, I mean...
you can't kill Pierce.
Why? Because he's black?
No, because he's funny. He's funny in 2. And he's...
I'm talking to Matt on this one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like you choose the woman and the black guy. You just force yourself.
You know why? You know why it's one of those two? It's because they're the long runners. They're the ones that have been there the longest, like...
Technically, there's two that are long runners that haven't been seen for a while. Dex and Troy.
Yeah, but let's also remember that we were in Steelport, not Stillwater this time.
I know, but Dex, he after the whole mission's trying to find him, he left Stillwater. So maybe he went to Steelport.
Sounds like next game's just gone over the top there, because it's alien invasion, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that it takes place in a simulation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just gotta wait for it. Gotta wait for it to come out. See how good it's gonna be. I would like to play it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it day one. We'll see.
No, I don't think I will. It just looks too similar.
Yeah. Anyway,
the next bad game I'm gonna be playing is probably gonna be Dead Island Riptide.
Oh.
I am excited though because the new character has Wolverine type claws for some reason. And he can do like a jump kick, like a running jump kick that just sends the zombies flying.
I was not a fan of Dead Island.
No.
At all.
I borrowed it. It's just, I didn't even get trophies for it, and I'm a trophy whore, so...
I got one trophy. I'm gonna find it right now. You go ahead and keep going. I'm gonna tell you what the trophy is when I find it.
My experience of the game was just like, oh, this is awesome, because I love Fallout 3, so I'm just sat, the opening, you're running through these corridors, and I'm sat there looting every single hotel room. I thought, oh, it's gonna be like the best game ever. And then we see this group of survivors, and they're just like, alright, mate, there's the dingoes out there, so all honky smelling.
Hey, my name's John Cinemoy.
Yeah.
I need you to help me.
Well, their arms are rotting off, mate. Here's an oar. Go out there and fight them.
Okay.
A few times.
Okay,
I say a few times.
I just love how every single, except for the first area, every single place you'd eventually go to would eventually somehow get overrun. By the prison, I was like, how long? How long is it gonna be until they get overrun too?
The first
Karen.
I got one trophy, and I played a good few hours of Dead Island, I'll have you know, and I got one trophy. It's knock knock, it says breach a locked door with the first blow. That's the one trophy that I got.
See, I didn't get that. No, but as far as I got in that game was after spending about a solid 2 minutes hitting a zombie with an oar till the oar broke. I then just went, it's a free roamer, so I'll just explore the island a bit. Went down to these, there's like some downstairs public loo, and there's like some fat zombie down there, so I just kept throwing a knife, taking it out of him, throwing a knife in him, taking it out of him, until it died, and then I was like, this game's really dumb, and then never played again.
Well, what else are you gonna play? What else are you playing?
I played Defiance.
Oh yes, tell us more.
So Defiance is the game, the MMO from Tryon Worlds, maker of such games as Rift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a MMO FPS. Or no, not an MMO FPS, an MMO TPS.
Okay.
And it's expected to be Borderlands plus Rift.
But
it ends up becoming like...
more like Borderlands. Sorry.
It ends up becoming a generic... the game's confusing. Like you're not fighting aliens. You're fighting mutants.
Mutants!
As long as they talk like the ones from Fallout 3. Cavemen.
Yeah, they're basically the same.
And angry.
I put up a
Even when they're asking you the time or the weather, they're like nice weather we're having, and you just sound so angry.
nice weather we're having.
You're like, oh god.
I put up on VGU.TV Defiance so far, which is basically like my early impressions with it.
Yeah.
The whole selling point of the game is tying into the TV series on Sci-Fi.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Yes.
Since the first season is basically done, and the second season hasn't debuted yet, all the interactivity is pretty much done right now.
That's ridiculous.
With the show, so of course there's the main missions, side missions, time trials. There are episode missions where you basically interact with two characters from the TV series.
Yes.
And I died so many times because of how the whole thing of the game is co-op. And I'll give them credit; they do this well. If you're doing a quest and some guy just manages to show up, it'll count as doing co-op. So if you're someone like me who is a lone wolf and doesn't want to work with anyone, you can technically be part of these huge battles without having to pretty much say, "Hey, can I join up with you guys?" Or say, "Hey, can I help you guys kill this monster?"
Do you get the same amount of XP for not helping?
You get the same amount.
No, that's really dumb. What I don't see, though, is did Defiance, the TV show, even do well? Or whatever the TV show is?
Well, it got renewed for a second season before it even debuted.
The amount of money they probably put into the project, though. It's bound to have happened. Is it a Sci-Fi owned thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's probably they're gonna have to make it go on, just because.
I hate the Sci-Fi Channel.
I wouldn't know, but
it's just worse. Now they just hub for movies like Sharktopus and shit.
That sounds amazing.
The thing that could save it, and I talked about this yesterday on the Gamercast. Once Season 2 debuts, after an episode airs, there's going to be exclusive missions and other events tying in with the episodes.
Oh.
But they're only available for a week, and once the next episode airs, everything disappears, and it's replaced.
Oh.
Much like our Libsyn account.
Well, that's gonna be something.
Yeah, and it's not been doing well critically.
No.
I've seen people on Twitter who get retweeted by Sci-Fi, who they're like, "Well, I know what I'm doing on Mondays now. From now on, I'm watching Defiance." And my thoughts on that are like, why?
Sci-Fi's just like, yay, you got a viewer!
This is actually from someone in prison, and this TV channel's locked.
This is actually from someone who works at Sci-Fi.
No, I'm doing tonight the same thing I have to do every Monday.
This is from someone who has to review every episode of Defiance.
It's actually the torture tactic in Guantanamo.
I feel bad for the guy who mistakes it for the Defiance movie that Daniel Craig did.
Oh yeah.
Because that was good.
Yeah. Still,
I don't
serves him
think I
right
ever
for
saw that.
bad,
I don't think I
bad
ever.
research.
It's supposed to be really good though. What else did you play, Alan? Is that it?
Well,
Anything else that's bad that we can make fun of you for?
well, sticking with Defiance a little bit. Did you guys ever see the series Farscape?
Yes.
I never watched it.
I love Farscape. Don't ruin it.
It's
I actually loved it when I grew up.
It's one of the creators, or like the creator of it, Rockney S. O'Bannon, is working on Defiance.
You know, you know the main character, one of the main characters, the female, is the voice of Chloe in Uncharted 2
Oh, really?
and 3. Yeah.
You know that voice of Chloe, the voice of Chloe is also in Gears of War 3. So,
I wouldn't know that because I own a superior system,
I mean,
and I would not
I
waste
used to
money
own,
on an inferior one. So
I used to own an inferior system, and I still attest that I would like to one day, or well, I mean, if it could ever be possible, I'd like to one day have Gears of War on PS3 because it's a pretty good trilogy, and I'd like to get trophies. But
Ethan.
anyway,
But the thing I just love in a just hilarity way.
in a hilarity way.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a thing.
I don't think
good
that's the right. I think that's the right way to say that, but alright. Go on.
The show, some reviewer compared it as like a mix with Farscape meets West Side Story.
Yes.
What about it, Farscape?
Huh?
What about the game is kind of like Farscape, just...
Well, no, not the game, the TV series.
Oh, right. All I remember from Farscape is it's a living ship with some weird crab. And it has some cool guy tentacles.
Yeah, Moya. There are like a whole bunch of different. There are like, I think 6 or 7 alien races. They look like
What, in Defiance or in Farscape?
well in Defiance,
Yeah.
and the funny thing about this,
Tell me.
there's one race who looks similarly. They just look like cats,
Cats.
or not.
Like
not
Khajiit.
Like, cheat. I always thought it was like so totally like, I don't know, pointless to.
or not necessarily cats. They look like the vampire, the way the vampires looked from Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh yeah. Do they explode into dust when you kill them?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, there's some really, really obvious sexual undertones when they attack you.
There's another race that has like white skin, white hair, and yellow eyes.
Wow.
There's another that are pretty much orangutans, which
Wow.
I find ridiculous.
That just seems inappropriate.
So
yeah. Speaking of Khajiit, I always thought that it was pointless to really like customize your character and like in Elder Scrolls because it's like make yourself look like a cat. Who fucking gives a shit? It's first person. I can't see it.
You can see in the dark. God, racial tributes, yo. Also, they come from the best place ever, elsewhere. Yeah.
Alan, please go ahead.
The last game I've been playing, second last or third last. I've just had a crazy week. I played and finished Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Oh man, played a little bit of that myself.
How was the story?
supposed to be really good.
Oh, it's really great. It's written like a classic Justice League episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And did you guys ever watch the Justice League series on Cartoon Network?
New.
I used to.
I'm aware
well,
of
I mean,
it.
I used to have the first season.
Did you ever watch an episode about the Justice Lords?
Probably not.
Well, in one universe, Lex Luthor killed the Flash,
hmm
and it sent into motion a chain of events that Superman ended up killing Lex Luthor, and the Justice League ended up becoming villains, and basically ruled over humanity.
hmm
Oh, is this the one where Joker?
But in the game, spoiler alert. Seriously though, spoilers.
Spoilers. Injustice spoilers.
Oh, man.
The Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane and their unborn baby.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and then he's like gone into
and
like
the thing
dictator
is,
mode and decides he
There is a
needs to keep.
there was a bomb or nuke linked to Lois's heart. So when she died, the nuke went off and basically just obliterated Metropolis.
Oh my god.
And the game pretty much opens up on it, and I was about to say Undertaker for some reason. Superman just essentially guts Joker. They don't show
Right.
it, but it's heavily implied.
Yeah. Damn.
And
That's rough.
they actually, instead of they actually have a mix of Young Justice / Justice League voices.
All right.
So
I've heard a lot about the game, but a lot of like the same complaints I'm hearing from a lot of different sites is the animation for like the special hits kind of thing. I don't know what they're called in the game. Like for instance, Flash Gordon runs around the whole.
oh my god,
Well,
did you really just
slaps
call
him
for
in the
the
face.
Flash Gordon?
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I
Jesus.
didn't mean to say. Sorry, the Flash. Whatever.
The
Flash Gordon's better.
the Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon's
Oh my-
amazing.
Well, the special moves are actually pretty goddamn awesome.
Yeah,
I
I've just
remember-
heard they
I
get
remember
repetitive
playing-
because they don't change.
So like Aquaman, if you do things right, he'll end up sending a shark to attack his opponent.
Yeah.
The Flash will basically he'll run across the Earth twice and just super punch his guy. Batman runs over the guy with the Batmobile.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, have you found they take too long though? Once you've seen them like the first 30 times.
Yeah. The first time that you see Batman, it's always so cool. Like when he like backflips in slow motion over the Batmobile. You're like, oh shit!
it's about to go down.
And then after like a couple of times, you're like, and the novelty wears off, but you're still having fun.
Yeah. I was surprised with the way they dealt with death in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because, spoilers, a lot of people die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People die, or Superman. This game is mainly the the self-destruction of Superman.
Yeah. Which is always a very interesting topic to break down.
It felt a lot like what was that comic by Mark Waid?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Irredeemable.
Irredeemable.
Where basically the Plutonian he becomes a bad guy, and when there was a meeting going on with the heroes, I was like, man, Mark Waid must be mad about this.
Alright.
I also played Stronghold 3 on the PC.
I believe we're talking about PlayStation over here. Come on.
I know, but it was not good.
He's like, I just want to let you know don't play Stronghold on the PC.
Even the next game is technically a PC game, but it's one that is good, no matter what. That you can't get mad at it. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
I see. I have no opinion on this.
I now see where Tomb Raider got their whole make Lara very clumsy thing.
Oh, I see.
Within the first like 5 minutes, Indy's falling down holes, getting crushed by bookcases, getting scared by cats and falling down more holes.
Getting scared by cats. Well,
Yeah.
That's not Indiana Jones at all.
Yeah.
No. What else you been playing?
That is it.
Liar! You're a liar! You played DC Universe Online.
Well, I tried to. I tried to play it with Tom.
You were on the game.
I was on the game. But
Yeah.
me and Tom tried playing it. And
Warning to listeners.
turns out you cannot play with people in Europe, which blows.
Oh, that's
I'm stuck with French people.
Yeah, what was the
You
word
have no fashion.
what was the word that you used to describe them?
What, frogs?
Yeah.
that's.
Blood frogs.
Oh my goodness.
You do not condone racism on the VGU.TV site.
All
Would you
right.
like to complain? Carry on.
All right, Tom. It's up to
Me.
you now. What have you been playing
Oh.
this week?
I had to cram in all my game playing at the very start of, well, like since we ended last week's podcast, so I played quite a bit.
Did you?
Yeah. I played Okami HD.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a great game.
Is it?
It is. I enjoy it.
Here's my experience of the game so far. I've played 2 hours of it, mind. I'm only at the second save point. This is my experience so far. And then another, so that goes on for 10 minutes, and then it goes to some other thing going, oh, he. And that's for another 10 minutes, and then we get to start playing for about 2 seconds. And it goes back to weird noises. And then I paint a river, and then I go over the river, and then I paint a sword, and then I have a hamster talk to me, and then I went to a save point. And that's been my experience of Okami HD, and so far, it's not impressing me.
Yeah, a lot of people are always like, you should play Okami. Oh, shit. Oh, Okami.
Exactly, there's so much acclaim, I'm like, whatever. I'm
I think
sorry,
it's
the
like-
voice acting, which is non-existent, they just literally repeat a sound. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was different. There's a single sound they repeats and repeats, and these cutscenes go on for ages, and it repeats this horrible same noise.
The music is nice, though. Give it that much.
It's hard to listen to when you're going...
When no one is talking, the music is
Yeah,
nice.
but they're always talking. Or not talking.
Give it some time. Give it some time.
Oh, well, I also played a bit of Darksiders. More like Dorksiders.
More like Dorksiders.
I got as far as to getting the wings. The gadget wings.
Yeah, I didn't even get
That
that
game's just like... Well, I don't know, the game's kind of bleh.
It's
If
boring.
that's what Zelda's like. I don't really
No,
want to-
Zelda's more fun.
But all the reviews are just like, yeah, it's just like Zelda. I'm like, this
No,
game kind of
it's
sucks.
yeah.
It's like really low budget, and you can tell.
Like I'll say this much. All right, I love Zelda, and I'm ready to admit that like nearly every Zelda game is almost identical to each other. I mean, it's pretty much the same formula. Princess Zelda gets kidnapped. You gotta go through like 8 dungeons. Then you gotta save her and beat the bad guy, which is usually Ganon or Ganondorf. they're almost all identical. Like, at least the same formula at the very least. But I still have fun with each one. I just found Darksiders boring. I was like, I just don't want to do this at all. Like, this is just boring, and I don't want to do it. So, I don't agree that, I didn't feel that it was like Zelda at all.
No.
It's boring.
It is, yeah, it really is just tedious and like a big map. There's no sense of direction ever. You don't really have an idea of what you're doing. It's just like, yeah, this stone golem who reacts to your horn, or this one's got a curse, and you can't move unless you do these challenge rooms. It's like, right. So, yeah, needless to say, I didn't play that long.
Josh would argue with us because he loves Darksiders. He's like, Darksiders
I haven't finished it yet.
Hey, I like Darksiders too.
No, well.
That's, well.
Yeah,
then again, my taste in games is pretty well established.
Yeah.
Yes. Go back to Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
But, let's see, I also played God of War HD. I only played, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty because I'm so good at games, so.
Or you're just a big trophy whore.
No. I did the same with Darksiders, so that could be colouring why I hate it.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Matt?
I said, I was like, because you're such a trophy whore. You're like, no. I was like, says the fucking guy with 27 platinums.
Yeah. Don't forget it. So, yeah, so that game I beat Hydra, and I landed in Greece, and the lady on the boat's just like, yo, stuff's going wrong in the city. And then I got off the boat and say,
stuff's going wrong. It's like your priority.
So after, oh god, the camera in that game, it's so bad, like really bad. You can't look left or right, so it's a fixed camera, but it's like some of the angles is awful, and it doesn't detect when you're in the next area soon enough. So, that drives me nuts. But that game's okay, I guess, because it's PS2. I'll let it off. Let's see. I downloaded Dead or Alive 5. I haven't played it yet, but that game looks amazing because it just seems to be a lot of ladies slapping each other's boobies, so fun. I'll get around to playing that.
I'll get around to playing that. Right now I'm just watching it.
Well, let's just say once I had installed the background image of some sweaty lady, so I'm like, right, okay. It's not what the name implies, but okay.
The only thing that every time someone mentions Dead or Alive, I just remember like Dead or Awesome, but on the Awesome series where like these kids are like, these boys are playing Dead or Alive, and the girl's like in the menu, she's like, do you want me to wear a bikini or do you want me to wear this string that barely covers anything? And they're like, oh yeah, the string. And they're like, well, then I guess you'll have to actually play the
No,
game.
my friend Game shared it with me because he got it free off Plus at some point, and it's just like, I was like, okay, I'll play that with you, and he just goes, I'm not going online with this game. I'll embarrass myself, so it's like, fair enough. So hopefully someone will play with me. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else I played. I'm pretty sure I played something else. Oh, Joe Danger 2. I played
Joe Danger. Speaking of playing with you, we gotta get up on that Resident Evil 5 at some point.
Well, it's not my fault. Someone bailed on me.
I'm sorry, I've been very busy.
And then sabotage the PlayStation Network.
I didn't sabotage the PlayStation Network. PlayStation Network doesn't fucking schedule a maintenance. God
How
damn.
Convenient for you.
PlayStation Network's always riddled with maintenance. It's like, hey, by the way, you're gonna be offline today.
Well, I'm gonna join your game with no weapons, no herbal spray. I'm just gonna walk around and watch you play.
No. We're gonna be playing professional. Don't do that.
This is what's going to happen is, so you're going to be playing professional, and I'll have no weapon or anything, and I'll just be going, Chris,
You better
Chris,
put it down.
thanks, come on. So you have it.
Oh,
I might throw an egg at you every now and again, but no, that's the extent of my help.
I throw an egg at you. Oh,
Hey, you need
God.
to get those eggs.
I already have that trophy. I'm fine.
Oh. Do you have the platinum? No.
No. Fucking, that's why you're here. It's hard. Professional is really hard. It's not, like, Professional in Resident Evil 6 was not as hard, because I managed to get through it. Plus, it was unlocked, like, from the get-go, so I just started on it.
Oh, I just saw Resident Evil 6 and just like, that looks rubbish. I was kind of disappointed with 5, but the co-op made it worthwhile.
I didn't hate 6. I enjoyed it.
6 just looks meh. I hated the demo, because I got the Dragon Dogma extra demos as well, so I played 3 different demos, and all of them I hated, so...
Oh.
I'm trying to think. I definitely did play something at some point else. I'm just trying to think what. But yes, that's about it. So yeah, and then the rest I've been doing work. Hooray!
Yeah. I played a few games this week. I played a little bit of Hitman Absolution and got nowhere with that.
See, easy platinum.
See, sometimes I question my trophy whoring abilities, because even when I hear the words easy platinum, sometimes I'm just like, maybe it's just not worth it. And I just was not having fun with Hitman. I couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, this isn't worth it. So I went ahead and sold it.
Without platinuming it. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You're betraying your people.
I only got 32% of the trophies in there, too.
Ooh, now it's going to forever sit there. That's a testament to your failure.
No, that's alright. I threw on Peace Walker and did one mission. Then I was on the mission where I had to fight the helicopter.
Yes.
And died, and was like, I'll do this later.
The game, it's not really a Metal Gear Solid game. It's obviously made for the PSP because it's all the really short missions. But have you gone to a cutscene? It's fairly early in the game where you can just keep zooming in.
Oh yes,
to this 12-year-olds.
There's
and let you feel bad.
It's very. You're just like, oh no, why?
It's like the prompts in the top left. It's like, should I? I'm like,
It's like zoom in, and it's like this little girl, like she's like what, 12 years old maybe.
I don't know, but Stu looks it, so I'm just like.
But like her name's Paz and whatnot, and you can zoom in, and she's like wearing the schoolgirl outfit, and then you keep going in, and then there's like you zoom in all the way. It's like her underwear, and you're like, oh my god. There's the Two Best Friends Play Machinima video where they do the Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
Yeah.
And they do they start with MGS2. And they're playing as Raiden, and they're like, oh yeah, that's why we don't play this.
Don't blame them.
And then they turn on Peace Walker, and they get to that point, and they're zooming, and they're like, oh no, Kojima, no! They're like, you want to just play Metal Gear Solid 3? We'll just play Metal Gear Solid 3. And then it just immediately cuts to them just like, I give my life!
That game is a masterpiece, though.
Like, throughout the video, like, they're playing it, and they're having fun, but, like, they continually keep, like, cutting to them singing the intro song. It's one of their best videos. I actually want to watch it again. That and Saints Row the Third.
I'll have to have a look at that.
Me too.
Saints Row the Third is a good one because they make a character that is a female. She's purple. She's big and fat. She's got green hair and rollers. She looks like a zombie, or she looks like a monster. And they turned on the zombie voice, so every time that there's a line of dialogue for the boss to say, it just comes out as And like everybody doesn't react, so it makes it even funnier when you're playing. It's just like you're right, boss. We got to do this. Like, oh man, those two are like my favorites.
You talk about Metal Gear Solid 2. Everyone hates playing Raiden. There's an amazing bit in Metal Gear Solid 2. If you, I'm trying to think, it's when one of the plants explodes. But there's a bit that if you do the bit before it stealthily. You can get Raiden pissed on. There's like a guard taking a piss. You can stand under the urine stream and then just keep calling up people and just be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you."
Remember that fat guy on the roller skates?
Fat Man.
Oh yeah, Fat Man. DC hero.
IGN's Colin Moriarty always wants more Fat Man.
Laugh and grow
Okay,
fat.
I have a real question though. Was that vampire gay?
Yep.
He was he openly gay?
I think there's a background thing where he is gay.
I don't know.
The whole homoerotic
That is a job
fight
for,
in Metal Gear Solid 4.
I haven't played 4, so I wouldn't know. That's something for the Metal Gear Solid wiki.
But no, I'm fairly certain it's revealed that he is at least bisexual.
Anyway, Peace Walker. It's not a bad game at all. It's just, you don't get as invested in it as the others, because you're just like, you play a mission and, like with 3, I love playing, I played it twice now, and I love playing it, I love going through and just like, let me try this again, let me try this a different way, or, whatever. But when I play Peace Walker, it's like, if I fail a mission, I'm like, I'll do it later.
It's just, I don't think the story is very good either in that game.
Yeah. I also played some Just Cause 2. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You're going to plan on that?
I'm going to try to. I'd like to.
Good luck.
I don't think it's...
I hope you have 3 years of your life you don't want to use.
Seriously? You think it's going to take that?
Let me tell you this. I was like, yeah, I could do this. Let's see. I completed every single mission in that game, and I'm in mercenary mode now, and I 100%ed loads of places. I'm only on 35%.
Jesus Christ, I'm not going to platinum that game.
No. So I was just like, well, this is my fun game, but I'll never get another trophy.
See, because I was looking through the trophies, and I was like, oh, I think I could platinum this.
That's why I was like, single-player games, easy. No.
All right. I also played some Okami HD yesterday, and I would say that I'm farther than you. So I'm having more fun. I'd say give it some more time, Tom, because it's a good game. I think
I can tolerate more idiots
I think it's overrated, but by the time you get to where I am, it's just white noise. You're just like whatever. But I think it's overrated. I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I used to go to Games Radar until Games Radar gave Bulletstorm a 10, and then I couldn't take them seriously anymore.
That's the other game I played. Bulletstorm.
Played Bulletstorm.
Yeah, I played it. Let's see how far I got. I only got to the bit where Cyborg Chinaman was not happy with me. But
for that game, and I was like, I don't.
Tom, he's never happy with you. He's just mad at you in the entire game.
He was happy at the start when he wasn't messed up.
There's a review on Games Radar. You can find it. This is what we do on this podcast. We just direct people to other sites.
That's what you do. Terrible host.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
No.
7.5 out of 10.
No, I read a review when Bulletstorm came out. I used to go to Games Radar, and when Bulletstorm came out, the guy gave it a 10 and called it an important game. And then I stopped going to Games Radar because I couldn't take them seriously anymore. But before that point, there was a long-running joke on that site where they were always like, "You should play Okami. Oh, it's so good. It's so amazing." I think that Okami is overrated, but I still think that it's a pretty good game. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, it was the swan song for Clover Studios.
It looks pretty, but that's about it.
It's got good music too.
It does have good music.
That wolf is scary.
Amaterasu?
Yeah.
No, Mother Ross is cute.
And Harry.
Sorry. I was having a buffalo chicken flavored Pringle.
That sounds horrible.
It's actually pretty good.
God dear.
I've been like muting the microphone and like opening it up and taking one more. Like once you pop, you can't stop, Tom. All right. Now, for my last game this week, everybody knows I've mentioned this a couple times.
That Matthew picks his nose.
Yes. But aside from that, I wanted to finish all the games that I hadn't finished before. Never finished before. That's why I shelved Red Dead Redemption and BioShock 2. I didn't want to play it just yet because I'd already played it on an Xbox, and I had games like Jak 2. I had games like Spec Ops that I hadn't finished yet. I wanted to finish those. And then I got the Mass Effect trilogy. And as everybody knows, I've mentioned this a few times, I desperately wanted to play it. I wanted to play as my female Vanguard. Vanguard? I don't remember. Vanguard. I'm going to say Vanguard. Anyway. And, yesterday I had a couple of rough days this week. And I was just like, you know what? This is it. I'm breaking that vow. And I popped in Mass Effect. Yeah. Now, and goddamn do I love that game. Such a good game.
I've not played the original.
The first one, the beginning is slow. Once you become, spoilers, once you become a Spectre, it starts to pick up. But
Yeah.
everything before then, Eden Prime and the Citadel, that's all very slow.
I like slow bits though.
Like, I tried to play Mass Effect 3 times before I finally got past that part, because I kept falling asleep on the Citadel, while like trying around the Citadel. But I'm right now I'm back on the Citadel, and we just had the meeting with the peoples. I'm gonna go and find Garrus. I'm gonna try and do a little less of the, as a renegade, I was trying to just pick the bottom conversational option every time. But I come off as much more of a bitch, so I'm gonna try and do more of the middles. A little bit more. Cause like, there was one where it's like, why don't we talk to Garrus that Garrus guy? He's like, I don't trust him. I was like, no, Garrus is cool. I would trust him. But, I still hate Ashley, though. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing this week. We've got an hour on this podcast.
Good God. That means we gotta get through this.
Yeah, let's go. We'll fly through the deals.
So let's, woo! There's that buffalo wing.
Oh dear. To giving you wind or something.
So, listeners, time for the PlayStation Plus deals and the store updates. Allan, why don't you kick us off with the U.S. store? How's that sound?
Yes. We get Malicious.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I. Originally it was $99 or $9.99. Now it's $99. And we get up to 50% off on the GTA sale. It's going on throughout the entire store.
Yay.
Yay.
Notable additions, we got Dragon Fantasy Book.
Mm-hmm.
Originally $9.99, now $7.99.
Here we are with our Grand Theft Auto sale. Show us our Grand Theft Auto sale. What is it?
Okay. Practically every single piece of content that
that is Grand Theft Auto related
on the PlayStation Store is on sale.
Yes.
And I'm going to quickly run down what each like the prices for each.
Okay.
GTA 3 regular price $6.99, plus price $4.89.
Oh, yes.
Chinatown Wars
Never played it.
$13.99, plus price $9.79. GTA 4 $13.99, other price $9.79.
Mm-hmm.
GTA 4 Ultimate Edition $20.99.
Yeah.
Plus price, $14.69. Episodes from Liberty City.
That's a good deal, by the way. Yeah. The Ultimate Edition, if listeners don't know, it's Grand Theft Auto 4 and both episodes from Liberty City, The Lost and Damned, and The Battle of Gay Tony. Definitely spring for that one because The Battle of Gay Tony is a great game, and Lost and Damned was pretty good too. And Grand Theft Auto 4 is also really, really good.
Episodes from Liberty City is $13.99. Plus members get it for $9.79. San Andreas is $10.49. Plus members get it for $7.34.
Mm-hmm.
Vice City is $6.99. Plus members get it for $4.89.
Mm-hmm.
Vice City Stories $13.99. Plus price $9.79.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty City Stories same $13.99. Plus price $9.79.
That's a good sale.
The plus members will run them if they want to get everything, which I wouldn't recommend because you can just stick with Ultimate Edition and some other stuff. It's about $80.76 worth of value.
I am a Grand Theft Auto fan, so I would say that, I mean, obviously, if you're going to get the Ultimate Edition, you don't need to get Grand Theft Auto 4 and episodes from Liberty City. But as a Grand Theft Auto fan, I have played almost everything except Chinatown Wars. I haven't played Chinatown Wars, but I can attest that everything else is very good. So, if you're a big fan like I am, and you haven't played these games, go ahead and play them. I personally have all of them on PS2. They're all PS2 classics. So, except for Grand Theft Auto 4, obviously.
And Chinatown Wars.
I have, but the other games, the GTA 2 or GTA 3 era, that would be Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, Vice City, San Andreas, and 3. I have them all on PS2. They're all PS2 classics. So there are no trophies. That means I have no reason to buy them. So
up next, we have the Soul Sacrifice demo for Vita.
Mm-hmm.
And the save transfers to the retail game, so that's interesting. Next up is Injustice: Gods Among Us for $59.99.
Oh, Injustice.
After that, Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 for $39.99. Sacred Citadel for $14.99. Mad Dog 2: The Lost Gold for $7.99. RPG Maker 3 for $9.99. Afterburner Climax was $9.99, now $4.99. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Was $14.99, now $5.99. Nights in the Nightmares, PSP game, is now $7.49 after being $14.99. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 is now $4.99 after being $9.99.
Jesus Christ.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 is now $9.99 after being $14.99.
I liked Episode 1. I'm surprised that Episode 2 is still $9.99.
Yeah.
But it's only just dropped to
because, it's been out for a while, though. So,
I'm surprised I haven't lowered that.
Well, they're probably dying to get some money off of it.
And where is Sonic 4 Episode 3? The one with Knuckles.
I think they made no money and decided they want to make.
I did like Episode 1, so I might pick that up, right now. But,
last up is The Cursed Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. This is coming from a man who likes to play bad games.
Yeah.
So don't buy it.
It's officially not as good as Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I tried seeing about getting a review copy for an old site I worked at, and they were like, "No, you're not fortunate enough to get this."
Mm-hmm.
It was $19.99. Now it's a meager $14.99. But still don't buy it.
So that's our U.S. store. Tom, why don't you take the reins and tell us what we got in Europe?
Well, in the lovely land of Europe, we have, we got a busy week full of great deals, such as the US's GTA sale. I lie. We got nothing this week, so yeah, that's ridiculous and crap. But for notable additions and deals, there's a Soul Sacrifice demo that's for the Vita only. Has anyone played Soul Sacrifice at all?
I have not, no.
We have Injustice Gods Among Us for $47.99 or $59.99 if you're paying in Euro funny money. If you want to waste hard drive space and money, you can buy it off the PlayStation Store, but you just want to buy it from the shops, unless you're mad. The Journey's Collector's Edition's out, so that has Flow and Flower as well as Journey. Oh, that's the other game I played for the first time, Journey. God.
Oh, Journey's good.
I played all the way through that. And
Journey's
I had someone
good.
add me, and it's really creepy. They're like, I liked playing with you. I was like, well, I didn't really talk to you. And
Sounds like a very stereotypical Southerner.
I like playing with you.
golly, boy, we had so much fun in the sand.
We had so much fun.
That was pretty...
Let's play more.
I thought Journey was pretty short.
It is very short. It's like 2 hours tops.
It is.
And I spent this is me. I was really sad. I was like, I want to play this game with someone, so I found someone. I followed them, and the only people I met was either people who were flying through it, or other people who were just so thick. It was frustrating, so I just went without them. I didn't find anyone normal, and then I did the final walk. I just waited around for ages.
Isn't it sad?
And then I fell over in the snow, and then went on the magical carpet, and then ended.
That's beautiful. I don't give a shit. That's beautiful.
Game was dumb, overrated.
Oh,
I didn't.
get out of my show!
How rude. PlayStation Store also has Dishonored: The Knife of Dunwall for $8.99 or $9.99 for Euro. That got given an A+ by our site writer, Jackson Herman. So buy it. Apparently it's better than Cursed Crusade, so...
According to his review, it's better than practically every single game Josh has reviewed.
Jesus.
I laugh at she says that.
Because he hasn't... I don't think he's in the time I've been here, he's given a game anything... I don't think he's given a game an A+.
No, I don't think he has. Lots of people, they have an aversion to giving like a perfect score.
That's ridiculous, though. Only because no game, obviously everyone knows nothing can be perfect, but you still need to give, recognize something.
That doesn't mean that you can't give somebody something a perfect score.
Exactly, yeah.
You can
That's
always
how I
be like,
see it, anyway.
feel like you're perfect. It's perfect for what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Walking Dead Survival Instinct.
What, sorry?
Come on now.
Or,
I'm not
I'm not going to say that. I was going to say the S word.
Oh,
Would have gotten mad pissed off.
get out. I'll do this show myself.
Out, all of you.
You're just making me angry. Oh my goodness. So that's our. Oh man. Oh no, I still got some. Sorry. I heated up lunch. Buffalo chicken wings. Very hungry. So hungry. So that's going to be our store updates. It's time for This Week in PlayStation. Tom, why don't you kick us off?
A Korean classification rating for something called the Metal Gear Solid, the Legacy Collection, lists the PlayStation 3 as platform and Konami as a registrant. The collection will feature Metal Gear Solid 1 to 4 and will include Peace Walker. The interesting thing about this is coming out to PlayStation 3 with Metal Gear Solid 1. Does this mean we'll have the HD Metal Gear Solid 1 or maybe even trophies? Because you can't release a game on the PlayStation 3 without trophies now.
Also, they did patent that ability to give games that don't have trophies.
Exactly. And I'm hoping, because I bought the Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PSN on its own, that will be given trophies retroactively, like you said. That'd be awesome.
No, I'm interested in this news, but I'm wondering how they're going to do this Metal Gear Solid 1. Is it going to be the PSN PS1 Classic? Are they going to remove the Nintendo references in Twin Snakes?
No, they won't do Twin Snakes. I don't think Kojima was too happy about that either, but I just think Twin Snakes just some bastard child that shouldn't exist.
Oh,
Hey, Silicon Knights did a good job.
Yeah, Twin Snakes is good.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nice, but they...
I mean, I don't know if they're around anymore.
Stuff.
I don't know if they're around
Shouldn't have been changed.
But what did they change? What did they change?
They changed the voice actors, and they changed key scenes, and they made it cheesy. Mei Ling's completely different.
Well, you know, I know that Hader tried to take a price cut because he was like, I want as many of the original voice actors as possible.
No, that's why I'm disappointed in Metal Gear Solid 4 they didn't get Liquid back. Heartbreak.
According to the Silicon Knights wiki, there's fewer than 5 employees.
Oh.
Well, that's what you get for messing with gold.
To be fair, the last 2 games they did was X-Men Destiny and 2 Human.
Oh yeah, 2 Human, that's it, that's what killed them, yeah. Because they're still fighting lawsuits and running away from lawsuits. So.
Yeah, 2 Human was not good.
Well, no, but there's all sorts of really bad stuff associated with that. Like, it's not even allowed to be sold anymore.
Yeah.
Because of some rights or something.
They did make Eternal Darkness, though.
I've heard good things, but never played it. Because I don't think it came out on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Eternal Darkness, I've actually had Eternal Darkness for a few years. Josh Mobley gave it to me for Christmas 5 years ago, and I still haven't finished it. So, what's that say about Silicon Knights?
What does it say about you as a person? Yeah. You're like Scrooge McDuck, just all these, all this stuff you never use. Mm-hmm. You got a hoard.
Well, hopefully we'll see some more about this Legacy collection.
Yeah, but yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 trophies, I'm calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
Sega has confirmed a remaster of the Sega Genesis classic Castle of Illusion.
Oh, man.
It's in work, and it will be released this summer.
Castle of Illusion. I had, I believe it was World of Illusion. I think it was the sequel on Genesis, and you could play 2-player in that game. It was Sonic and Donald. Or Sonic and Donald. I'm looking for Sonic. I'm looking for Sonic 4. It's Mickey and Donald. Fucking. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yes, Mickey and Donald, and it was a good game. Played it a few times.
Do you know what really annoys me in the PlayStation Store? They still haven't got one of my favourite PlayStation 1 games up yet, which is Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. I know it's not Disney related, but you mentioned the old cartoon characters. Yeah. Bugs Bunny Lost in Time is a gem. It really is amazing. So
I just have a lot of Looney Tunes games on Genesis and Game Boy. I remember I had Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 1 and 2. Never beat either of them. I remember getting as far as like level 75.
Yeah.
On the first one and being like, how many fucking levels are in this goddamn game? And then I finally died. So, I used to have Tasmanian Devil, Escape from Mars. I played a Sylvester and Tweety game, and I had a Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote game and a Bugs Bunny game on Sega Genesis.
No, see, I've not owned these peasant consoles. I've only owned the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, so... Then, see if you see Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, get it. Ubisoft announced a HD remake of Flashback, a classic action-adventure game which will be available on Xbox and PlayStation Network this year. The remake serves to celebrate its 20th anniversary and has been rendered in 3D using the Unreal Engine, though players will still play in 2D.
So I suspect that it will be much like that DuckTales remaster, you know?
Mm-hmm.
3D backgrounds, but 2D character sprites.
Yeah, add some ragdoll.
Mm.
And retailer Newegg has listed Gran Turismo 6 as a PlayStation 3 game for this year, which is surprising. But I'm guessing they'll announce it for the PlayStation 4 at E3 or something.
Uh-huh.
I can't imagine the next Gran Turismo game only being for the PlayStation 3. But then again, they didn't show it during their opening press conference.
Right.
But they showed that...
they showed that Drive game. Drive Club.
Yeah, Drive Club, that was it. They showed that, which I thought that meant Gran Turismo was dead, or they were made to work on some
Or this guy just really has a big hard-on for cars. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but the thing with... I don't think Sony are particularly happy with Gran Turismo team, because they take way too long to create their games. Like, they were, nearly 5 years or something late with their Gran Turismo 5? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Gran Turismo 6, there's a lot of fans of that series, so I'm sure they'll be happy.
Yeah. Well, alright. Allan.
Yes.
There is a lot of comic news that came out, comic-related news that came out this week. Now, we all know that you and I are big comic book fans.
And we both know that Tom isn't.
Tom isn't.
I like Batman. No, Batman. See, I platinum both those Batman games, so that makes me a fan. Ish.
But before we get to that comic book news, or comic book game news, there's another story that we wanted to discuss real quick.
Yeah.
Allan, why don't you take it away?
2K Marin, who was working on XCOM, the remake, has seemingly kind of like erased everything they've done. Like, the website's been taken down, all the videos have been taken down, and sort of in its place has risen something called the Bureau.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a web page called, like, I don't know if it's titled or something, but it's like what happened. Remember what happened in 62? XCOM was sent in 1962 as well.
Oh, wow.
So there's a possibility that they could have just scrapped XCOM and rebranded it.
Not to mention that we have XCOM is... What is XCOM about? Is that about... Does that have aliens in it?
Yeah, it's about aliens.
I want to make sure, because I never played XCOM. I only vaguely remember hearing about it. So, it was a big thing when it came out. So
That's right.
I wanted to just make sure I didn't sound like an idiot when I was I started talking about aliens.
And last year with Enemy Unknown.
Yeah, Enemy Unknown. This is why I think this has been renamed and rebranded, because Enemy Unknown did way better than expected, and
some people were actually saying that were saying that Enemy Unknown would do better than the actual XCOM reboot.
Exactly, and like by releasing this reboot, it's going to hurt the brand that they've just built up hype for again. So
yeah,
if they release it under a different brand, it's not going to have an effect on what people associate with a strategy game again. So, because this is meant to be a first-person shooter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I was going to say is about the Bureau. Now, I know that a lot of people, when you see an alien movie, the FBI always gets involved.
Men in Black.
E.T., Men in Black, all that.
Well, Men in Black was a comic.
Men in Black was a comic, and it was, they weren't exactly FBI, but, they were their own thing. Anyway, so I'd say that this could be really interesting. maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. I have no experience with XCOM, so I have no idea where to go with my ideas and my train of thought. So, but, let's see more agents or something, I guess, is what I was thinking. Maybe agents hunting these aliens, or I don't know what XCOM is. God damn it, just keep going! Get to the comic book news! Before I make myself look more like an asshole.
The first downloadable character has been announced for Injustice: Gods Among Us.
And it's very disappointing.
Disappointed.
Disappointed!
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
There are tons of characters that could have been announced. Characters like Swamp Thing, or Animal Man, or Martian Manhunter.
Both very good books. I read Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing a little while back. Very good. Jeff Lemire's Animal Man is very good as well. I have that, and it's some horrifying art in a couple of pages, but very good.
Very bloody, disgusting.
Yeah, but both very good. Very, very good.
And they could have even gone obscure with like G.I. Robot.
Or Booster Gold!
Yeah, or Booster Gold.
I want to play as Booster Gold! Or even Ted Cord.
Hell, I take Jaime Reyes.
Anyway. Allan, who is this mystery character?
Oh, you want to know?
I mean, I already know, but the listeners may not.
Well, first, hell, I'd even take Rip Hunter.
I would take Maximo Lord, god damn it!
Or, my god, I will take Supernova.
Ugh, Supernova, jeez. That's not even a very good one. Go on, then.
The character is Lobo.
Oh. Now, I mentioned this before the show. I've watched the entire Bruce Timm animated series of Superman. And I'll say that it's a very strong series. But the Lobo episodes, and there were like 2 or 3, I think, out of, like more than 100 episodes, maybe, I think. Right? I don't know. Anyway, there were a lot of episodes, and there were like 2 or 3 that had Lobo in them. Lobo, those were the worst ones. Which is a shame because, well, I guess it's just because Lobo is just not a very good character. But it's also a shame because I'm a big fan of Brad Garrett, and Brad Garrett is the voice of Lobo in that cartoon. And he's a funny guy. But Lobo's just not a good character. He's just kind of lame. Kind of stupid. Anyway. Let's go on. Let's move on. Allan.
Well, interesting thing about Lobo, I'm sorry, Tom, but I'm going to break off into a tiny comic book thing.
No, you're not.
He's like, that's good, I had to go to the bathroom anyway.
Lobo is going to be appearing as a villain in Stormwatch.
God damn it.
That's it. Okay, Tom. I'm done.
Alright, fine.
Tom's like, God damn it. Why did it...
But honestly, who really cares? Because Lobo is one of the worst characters of DC in DC history, next to the Guardian.
So let's talk about the best character in DC.
Batman.
Yes. Yay. Another platinum on the way.
Arkham City, or Arkham Origins, has a standee of the game revealed a bunch of characters that are going to be in it. Among them, Scarecrow.
Yay. Yay.
Killer Croc.
Yay.
Yes.
And oddly enough, the Joker.
I was surprised about that too, because Mark Hamill said he wouldn't be doing the voice anymore. So,
yeah.
But then I guess they can change it slightly because it's set in...
Even whoever did it in Injustice, they did a pretty good job on that. So, It didn't sound like Mark Hamill, but
Oh, did he not do Injustice either?
no,
No.
he didn't do Injustice.
He's retired from.
He's retired. He
I
said,
thought
"I'm
he
not
was just
doing
doing
Joker
it.
no more."
I thought he said he wouldn't. I thought he clarified it was only for Arkham games at one point.
No, he's not even.
No, he just said, "I'm not doing Joker no more."
But he
Hell,
makes
even
so much
on-
money.
Even on Young Justice, when the Joker appeared, it wasn't him.
Oh,
Yeah.
who cares?
I think the worst Joker was John DiMaggio, and the worst Joker voice was John DiMaggio in the Red Hood movie, because it just didn't feel right. You know, it was too deep.
Just bring Jack Nicholson back, it'd be fine.
Or
But
as I suggested, Tim Curry.
but you know, John DiMaggio is not a bad voice actor. He did all right with Marcus Phoenix, and he does good with Jake in Adventure Time, but it just didn't sound right as the Joker. You know, his voice is too deep and whatnot. It's still a great movie, the Red Hood movie, but it just feels off.
There's
off-putting.
also another character in the game,
one that you called.
Deadshot. Ha! Called it!
Isn't Deadshot in Arkham City as well? Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Deadshot's in Arkham.
I was
City.
just wondering if I got that character wrong. I was like, I recognize him.
I'm trying to remember what I was trying to say. There's a side mission.
Yeah.
there's a
He's a sniper, isn't he? He kills
he's a sniper.
political prisoners.
Spoilers. But what I didn't realize, I didn't notice this, and these are side mission spoilers in Arkham City. Not like main campaign spoilers, but just FYI, Arkham City spoilers. The Deadshot side mission, he's taking out political prisoners, people that he knows are in Arkham City. The last of which is Bruce Wayne. Well, actually, the last of which is Batman. The one before it is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But what I didn't notice until my second time playing it was as Bruce Wayne is in line in the line of prisoners to go into Arkham City, the man in front of him turns around and says, "Hey, Bruce Wayne, you're on my list." And then he makes a gun with his hand and goes, bang.
That's what I found. A lot of people don't notice the black mask thing is, even though he's right there, and it's pretty...
The Deadshot.
I know, I know the Deadshot's there as well, saying it's on my list, but that's another character at the very beginning of the same area is Black Mask.
Black Mask.
He's been beat up and electrocuted because he says he's going to kill them all and stuff. But
I don't remember that. I'm going to have to...
go just start the game again just to see that.
I'm going to have to pop that in
Start the game and turn to your right, and you'll see
Yeah.
him
Against the wall.
Yeah. I think
Black Mask is a great character. I'm really excited to see him in Arkham Origins.
Yeah, that's what I was... with these other characters like the Joker, Scarecrow, Bane, Killer Croc, like I said, and Deadshot, be interesting because a lot of these we might be able to see their character origins on how Arkham's universe's twist on how they began.
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in seeing, like Dr. Crane, hopefully, before he becomes Superzoid. And Bane, maybe you discover him as he's being turned into a Mexican wrestler. I don't know.
He was imprisoned. He was imprisoned
in the Lazarus or something, wasn't he? Oh no, it's not.
No, that's in the movie.
Yeah.
His comic book origin is significantly different. Anyway, moving right along. Allan,
do you guys like Deadpool?
I don't read Deadpool comics. I haven't read any. Unlike not by choice. Not by choice. Let me say that. It's just that I don't know how many good writers are on Deadpool.
Actually, some comedians are on Deadpool right now.
I don't really like Marvel, so
I don't hate Marvel. I have several Matt Fraction Iron Mans. I have the Winter Soldier. I have J. Michael Straczynski Thor, and the Ultimates. And I have a couple other sporadic books. Like I have that Spider-Man Blue that came out like a couple of years ago. Anyway, I've never read Deadpool, so I don't have I have some experience with Deadpool, but not in comics. I am, however, excited for the Deadpool game. Why, Alan? Why do you ask?
Because the pre-order bonuses for the game have been announced. Of course. If you pre-order from Amazon, you'll get a $5 credit towards select Marvel graphic novels.
Here you go, $5 for these few.
Yay.
Graphic novels that probably cost at least 15 or $20.
Yeah. So.
You'll also get an exclusive digital wallpaper and digital cover sleeve.
That means pretend stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you pre-order from GameStop, you'll get 2 downloadable maps. GRT Plaza and Inside the Tower for the Deadpool challenge mode. You'll also unlock 2 bonus costumes for Infinite mode. Deepooly, which I'm not sure about that.
You'd have to look it up, I think, because I don't know.
The next one, though, is his outfit from Uncanny X-Force, which I love.
Uh-huh.
Because people, if you haven't read Rick Remender, who wrote Bulletstorm.
Yes.
His run on Uncanny
Uncanny X-Men?
Uncanny X-Force.
Uncanny X-Force.
Basically, he makes Deadpool much better. Like, Deadpool is a joke.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah. He is kind of, he's silly. He's a silly guy.
But he writes him extremely well.
Yeah.
And Deepooly is basically Deadpool as like a gangster, all blinged out.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Which I'm not surprised.
Nice. Speaking of gangsters, I'm excited for...
Oh, wait.
Because I get to watch some more of The Sopranos.
Power-Up Rewards members in the U.S. will also receive an exclusive digital wallpaper.
So, basically what Alan's saying, listeners, is if you're going to pre-order the Deadpool game, pre-order through GameStop, because Amazon's not giving you shit.
Power to the players.
It's giving you pretend stuff. Has anyone actually seen much about this Deadpool game? Because the Deadpool challenge mode seems like it's going to rip off of a certain amazing franchise.
We've only seen a couple of trailers, and I think there have been some very little gameplay in the second one.
Doesn't sound like they're confident in their product.
Well, I don't think we know when it's coming out either, so they still have time to show us some more. Maybe there will be something at E3.
Probably, yeah. You're right.
Anyway, we're moving along. Respawn Entertainment has trademarked the name Titan, possibly hinting at the name of its first game. I have no experience with Respawn Entertainment, so...
They broke off of the Call of Duty team.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Jason West and
Vince Zampella, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he left.
They then sued Activision for a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Bunch of money.
Yeah, these are the ones that broke off. This isn't, this is like, kind of like Sledgehammer.
Well, it's also, a lot of people who were at Infinity Ward left and went to Respawn.
That's what I mean. The main people behind what made Call of Duty 4 amazing is in Respawn.
Basically, it's like what they did when they were with EA, with Medal of Honor.
Yes.
They didn't like it. They went went over to Activision. Didn't like it at Activision. Then went back to EA. So
yeah, hopefully so there's smart people behind this game. So hopefully it should be good. So I'm guessing it's going to be a first-person shooter then.
Okay, so then listeners, keep an eye out for Titan and Respawn Entertainment news. Sorry that I can. As you know, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan, and so I didn't. I guess when I heard that they broke, I guess when they broke off of Call of Duty, I just didn't even care. I was like, whatever.
Bro, you don't even like Call of Duty? Bro, you probably don't even lift.
Do you even lift? There's still
is amazing.
I have played Call of Duty 4 and
I still play it online.
And Modern Warfare 2. Because I like price and soap. But speaking of Do You Even Lift, before we move on, there's an image that I shared a long time ago with James. It's one of my favorite images of the scene in Back to the Future when they're in the high school. Marty says, "Oh man, this is heavy." And then the second image, where in the movie, Doc Brown turns around and says, "There's that word again, heavy." But instead the caption says, "Do you even fucking lift, Marty?" So that's one of my favorite images. Anyway, we're moving on with the news. One of my favorite pieces of news. So you guys remember when everyone mostly we peasants, as Tom so eloquently puts it, everyone was pissed off about the Rayman Legends delay. Remember that? That was what, a couple months ago?
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out, I guess I think it was February, right? It was supposed to come out in February, and now they pushed it to, I think, September, October. And everybody was so angry. They're like, "How dare you!" Well, listeners, if you're any of those, you can stop being pissy, because Ubisoft Montpellier confirmed this week that because of the delay, they were able to add 30 more levels to the game, including new bosses. So,
there's literally no reason to buy it on the Wii.
Stop complaining. You don't. Plus, I mean, who cares about the Wii U anyway? It's not the PlayStation. This is a PlayStation podcast. The only reason you should care about Nintendo is because of Legend of Zelda. That's really that's my opinion. So basically,
Darksiders though. Sorry.
So 30 more levels, new bosses. Stop. If you're still hung up on this delay, stop it. There's a good reason for it. They brought you more content. They made the game better. Well, I think
this is more of an apology than the reason why they're doing it.
Well, even still, look, they made up for it. Is the point? They made up for it. No need to yell and scream and be like, "Hey, I'm still mad about this."
The only people who should be yelling is Nintendo executives.
Yes. Okay. Over the last week, the Skyrim team officially decided we're not going to make any more DLC for Skyrim. Then Bethesda posted a mysterious teaser. They put it on Twitter. It was a 6-second Vine video. It showed some barbed wire, a spinning record, the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. People asked, they were like, "Is this Fallout 4?" And Pete Hines said, "Guess again."
Prick
is what Tom says. But today's news, this is breaking. Bethesda officially announced The Evil Within. It's the first game from Resident Evil creators Shinji Mikami's studio, Tango Gameworks. Tom is just bouncing around all over the chat. The Evil Within is a survival horror title due to arrive on PlayStation 3 and next generation consoles in 2014. Now, that's going to be our topic of the week, listeners. The Evil Within. I watched the trailer when we turned on this. I turned on before the show. I didn't hate it. I think there wasn't enough there. It's a teaser. There's not enough there. I don't know.
It was a live action. The trailers is a live action cheesy
spinning
movie.
A spinning record. Someone is tightening up some barbed wire. There's a couple.
Someone's taking a bath in glass.
Yeah, there's a few monsters. There's a 4-armed girl that looks like she's straight out of the Ring. there's a guy with a safe, a lockbox on it for a head, and then the door opens and like fucking blood and tentacles come out. It's pretty crazy. There's not a lot there. All you can tell is this looks horrifying, but not enough. I personally want to keep an eye on it. I want to know more about it when the time comes. This may, as I told Tom and Allan earlier, and Tom was surprised even though we've had this conversation. This may be the first Bethesda title that I actually enjoy. Because I am a fan of Shinji Mikami. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil.
It could have been Fallout 4 announcement, and it's not.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have cared. Cause
I would have.
I hate Fallout. So.
You hate life.
Anyway. I'm pretty excited for it. Guys,
yep.
What do you think?
Well, I can run through a few facts about the games before we start.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
So, the game stars a man named Sebastian. This is taken from a Japanese press release. The game stars a man named Sebastian and his partner who go to investigate the scene of a mass murder, but where mysterious forces at work. Sebastian watches as more and more of the police force get killed before his eyes, and is attacked and knocked out. When he comes to, he must fight a world where monsters roam free and death and insanity live side by side. He will face unimaginable horrors, and he must fight for his own survival. To discover the truth behind the force that lurks here, Sebastian must embark on a journey brimming with horror. So it's going to use the id Tech 5 engine, so I think that's the Rage engine. They say that they are taking the engine a step further than it has ever been used before, and are utilizing a state-of-the-art lighting engine and a much more powered-up version of the engine than any game to date has used. The game is trying to strike a balance between horror and action, but in the sense that one should be desperately struggling to survive and facing scenarios of unimaginable horror. They say they want to redefine horror and seem to be going for a more difficult and intense experience. The game promises to have limited resources and to be full of puzzles and traps. They want to fill the player with anguish, tension, anxiety, and send them off the deep end. They make a focus that enemies can easily kill the player. You have to be cunning, evasive, to be able to survive in these harsh conditions. You can also utilize traps enemies set up for you on them instead. It seems the player can experience random distortions that can happen in any area, any time, which changes anything from enemies, doors, walls, objects, or the like. It's terrifying nightmares that our character sees. These are random and change in real time as well. They finish off saying that they want the game to start strong and continue with a growing feel of insecurity to grow. Well, that's translated poorly. They also mentioned the game will have an in-depth world and that you're being hunted by something mysterious and dark. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
I was feeling a bit more confidence because it kind of sounds like a Dark Souls version of Resident Evil.
I don't know. I'm excited. And I like horror games. Which is weird because I don't like horror movies. I don't. I'm a big pussy when it comes to horror movies, but I'll play a scary game any day of the week. I'm excited. Allan, you've been pretty quiet. What do you think about The Evil Within?
I personally don't care because I, along with Tom, was assuming it was going to be something related to Fallout, and I am mad still.
Yeah. Well, that would have been pretty sweet.
That it would.
Jeez.
Allan's seen my giant guide for Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, the thing was just gigantic.
It's like a Bible. It's huge. But yes, no, this game looks okay. There's some screenshots you can find at IGN.com at the moment. Sorry for redirecting. But the game does look good. Well, it looks like a scary game.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look scary. It does look horrifying. I don't know. I want to play it.
The problem I have with all these promises, like every horror game recently has come out with these promises, like a balance between horror and action. And I mean,
Uh-huh.
this is the guy who brought us Resident Evil 4, which has, brought the series into kind of mainstream, but also not very scary.
Sure,
Resident
but
Evil.
dost thou even hoist? Um, but I still say that Resident Evil 4, it's a great game. And
It is.
if it hadn't been for Resident Evil 4, I would have never given the first ones a chance, because I tried to play them in order and just was like, oh,
I wouldn't
my God.
try. No, skip one.
I was like, oh my God, I hate these fixed camera angles. They're so bad. Oh, good.
How
But
can you resist the amazing voice acting?
after I played 4, I was like, I gotta do this. Let me do this. And I did it.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it.
See, I got frustrated with the bloody plant because I died bringing the weed killer all the way across that mansion, and I didn't save in a while.
Oh.
So
I played the first Resident Evil like 3 times, so after that. So, it really did something.
but yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, from the screenshots, it does look very Resident Evil 4.
It does.
Like, even like the kind of metalwork areas and the corridors are very much like the later part of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
They're very similar environments. But
Right. Now, Alan, you don't have any opinion on it. You're just like, oh, I'm still pissed off.
Yeah, I'm being a typical Fallout fanboy.
good.
But it doesn't look interesting to you at all. You're like, oh.
It does look. It looks interesting in a way that makes me think this could be the first good Resident Evil game since Resident Evil 4. Because if anyone could do it, it's Mikami.
I'm not going to say that 5 and 6 were as good as 4. So I will say that I think that 6 was better than 5.
5 was like the Phantom Menace.
And I liked 6. And I don't hate 5. I think that 5 is still a pretty good game on its own. But I still think they're pretty good. They're just not scary anymore. Though there were, a couple it's less scary, it's more tense. At least
And then
in 6 in Leon's story in 6, it was a little tense. But otherwise,
can you look up little girls' skirts in Resident Evil 6?
no.
It's not worth playing, is it?
Shoot.
I joke.
All right.
Did you see that Easter egg in Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, we're pervert.
Yeah. So good. Getting that bin.
I'm very excited. So that's my take on it. I don't know if I want to play Evil Within, but I do want to know more about it. So there's that.
Yeah.
We'll just have to kind of wait and see. Is there anything else that we wanted to discuss as far as Evil Within is concerned before we moved on?
There's a man with a safe for a head. Just thought I'd
Yes.
point that out.
I believe isn't that safe wrapped in barbed wire as well?
It appears to be wrapped with chains, but
Chains.
might be really thick barbed wire. I'm not sure.
And in the trailer, the safe door opens and blood and tentacles come out.
Tentacles. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. It's gonna be like eerie and weird, kind of like Silent Hill. Maybe this will be the first Silent Hill game that I actually enjoy as well. So there you go. Yeah. Alan,
Yes?
you don't have anything else? He's like, no, I don't support this Evil Within at all.
You might buy it if 3 dogs in it.
With me, the great and powerful 3-dog. Bow wow.
Oh, wow. 3 dog. How's everybody doing post-apocalyptic today?
Now, some music.
And we hear the same 3 tracks. Yes.
Over and over again.
But actually, honestly,
It's lore friendly. It's fine.
it does look interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but
I mean, yeah, like I said, not enough in that trailer yet to really decide. But it does. But you have my attention.
The thing is, I think we've already had a Resident Evil 4 this generation, which is the original Dead Space. And I don't think this is going to be able to hold a candle against it. It's just, I don't know, it just seems like generic Resident Evil 4 made by a guy who worked on Resident Evil 4. And it just, everything about it seems Resident Evil 4.
Well, we'll have to see. Like he said like Leonardo DiCaprio said in Django Unchained, you have my curiosity, but you do not have my attention just yet.
I don't think he said that. I think you misquoted him.
he said, gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Right now, they have my curiosity, but as I said, not enough in the trailer. I want to see some gameplay. I want to see some more stuff. In the coming months, I suppose, when we learn more about the Evil Within, maybe they will grab my attention.
Maybe.
So, yeah. If that's all that we want to talk about as far as this topic is concerned, then we can go ahead and move on. That's going to be our question of the week as well, listeners. What do you feel? How do you feel about the Evil Within? Do you want to play it? Do you want to know more? Or are you just as pissed off as my co-host that it's not Fallout 4? Do you want to, tell me how you feel about the Evil Within? Last week's question of the week was, which characters do you want to see in Batman Arkham Origins? And we got a lot of responses for that.
Whoa. How many?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How are we going to have enough time to read them out?
Well,
we're going to have to spread this over 2 shows.
Yeah,
we've been working like 2 hours by now. So, all these are my friends on my Facebook. My friend Adam says Two-Face and/or Scarecrow. That is moot because we already discussed that Scarecrow's in it.
We don't know yet about Two-Face.
We don't know about Two-Face though.
That'd be interesting because it could have.
I think that Two-Face should be in it because he kind of got shafted in City.
Exactly. But, the animated series, I think that was really nice how they built up his character over those 2 episodes.
Yes, very much.
So I'd like to see something like that.
Yes. I'm very excited. Two-Face is one of my favorite villains. Albert says if it had Tom Hardy voicing Bane, I might have little interest in the game.
Oh, yes. Miss Moneypenny.
It's like, what a lovely, lovely voice.
He just sounds like, what is his name? Sean Connery, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's what I always found while watching that film.
I think it's just the muffled effect that kind of...
Yeah, but he does put on a, oh, yes. Quite right, yes.
But I think it's a good contrast, this big, tough muscle man, and he's got this very gentle voice, Moving along, my friend Joey goes way out there. He goes way out there, gets a really obscure pull, and says Vandal Savage.
Ooh.
Who?
Allan, you know who Vandal Savage is.
That I do.
Why don't you tell the listeners just real quick who Vandal Savage is, real quick.
Okay, Vandal Savage was a caveman who, after witnessing a meteor strike, he decided. Well, all his other cave dwellers decided to stay away, or decided to run away. He decided to go forward and sleep next to it.
Yes.
And after that, he turns out he's unable to be killed. He's the only immortal character in the DC universe.
Interesting.
I thought Solomon Grundy was.
Well, Solomon Grundy is a zombie.
Solomon Grundy is dead, so he's not technically immortal.
Right, but he seems alive to me.
I mean, so do zombies, but they're undead, so.
Fair enough. But he can talk. Zombies can't talk.
He can...
I'm calling bullshit.
Zombies can say brains.
Maybe
This zombie
more
can
than brains. He can sing
this zombie can recite a nursery rhyme, so...
I'm sure.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
Well,
Christmas on Tuesday.
A man named James said, Rocksteady. And I said, Rocksteady's not a character, silly. And then he posted a picture that said, that was, the Ninja Turtles character, the Rhino, Rocksteady.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Bebop and Rocksteady. So he tried to exploit a loophole because I didn't specify that it should be a Batman or, DCU character. But that's what he said. Lee, my lovely lady, said Batgirl, which is actually possible since it's a prequel, so this could be pre-Oracle days. Though, no word on Robin, so if there's no Robin, Batgirl came after Robin, so, she also seconds Two-Face. My best friend, also named Allan, but not this Allan, says Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Dick Grayson, Harvey Bullock, which are all great characters. And
Bullock could be good.
Now notice that he didn't say Superman. He said Clark Kent. Now I can see that. Like, you got two of the Daily Planet's reporters out there, two of the Daily Planet's best reporters out in Gotham City, talk about this Batman. Dick Grayson. Love to see Dick Grayson. I think that he's a great character, and I like playing as Nightwing in the challenge match, but got kind of shafted. Didn't even get a voice. Come on.
This man was Batman for a while. Give him some respect.
And he was a very good Batman. If you've never read, who is it? Scott Snyder, I think.
No. It was what are you talking about? The Batman and Robin one that Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison did.
No, that was good too. But I was talking about Black Mirror.
Oh yeah, that was Scott Snyder and Jock.
Yeah, Scott Snyder did Black Mirror. Pick up that book.
It was pretty much the last Batman story before the...
Yeah, it was the last Dick Grayson Batman story. And it's so very good. It's very, very good. And Harvey Bullock, as we mentioned, very good character. He'd be great in that game.
I know this is... I didn't say this last week, but now that you mentioned Harvey Bullock, how about Renee Montoya?
I'd like to see Renee Montoya as well. I think, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to actually see a Question video game or even a Question movie. Can we see, the Question as a movie?
People love Rorschach, and he was based on the Question.
Yes, because before Alan Moore wrote Watchmen, he was going to use DC characters. I believe Blue Beetle was going to be Night Owl, and the Question was going to be Rorschach. But when they read it, they were like, "You can't kill off our characters like that." So he made his own original characters. But yeah, I'd love to see a Question movie or video game
based on. Well, the only problem though is they'd have to make it old 52.
That's true.
Because the new 52 Question is they went out there.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, what he is, and I'm a DC fanboy.
Right. Well, I agree with that. Old 52. Those are all the answers for last week's question. This week's question, as you remember, how do you feel about the Evil Within? Speaking of questions, though, we also have a community questions corner. You know how that is, where we ask the audience to ask us questions. that we can answer. Albert came through this week.
Thank God.
He apologized to me over the week. He said, "I'm sorry that I haven't asked any questions recently." I said, "Hey, it's no problem, man." So he's right back on it, ready to ask us some questions. The first question, he says, "If you had the authority, what developer would you have Sony buy so it would make exclusive games for Sony?" What do you guys think?
Allan.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I believe that he's not limiting it to like a different, he's saying any developer that makes cross-platform, not like just like you don't have to say Epic or Bungie or something, like the ones that only made Xbox exclusives games. Just cross-platform. So
Insomniac.
Have they made other?
Yeah, they're making Fuse.
Fuse, yeah.
That's right.
They gave up their first-party status.
And it sucked.
It's not even out yet.
Yeah, no, I know they gave it. I mean, the fact that they gave up Sony, they've left Sony. Because I want a quality Ratchet and Clank game, because you keep churning out these terrible offshoots. I want the next...
Speaking of Ratchet and Clank, that was another game that I gave up on.
Which one?
The first one. I just wasn't having fun with it.
It's because you had to be there. Like, that was a PlayStation 2 near launch title, so that was my first game on the PlayStation 2. Well, apart from iToy Play. But...
Anyway.
Ratchet Clank 3.
Tom, what developer would you have Sony buy?
I would have them buy... I'm trying to think what they're called now. The big shoot as well. The developers who made Witcher, basically.
CD Projekt?
Witcher?
That's it, CD Projekt Red, yeah.
Mine is a pretty obvious choice. It's very selfish, but Rockstar. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, we want them back on the PlayStation.
They're one of the biggest companies out there.
And they're from Scotland. Well,
and let's be honest.
GTA.
Let's be honest. If the Hauser brothers, Sam and Dan.
Yeah. Well, Rockstar. Yeah, North.
If we had Rockstar in Sony's pocket,
we'd win.
As first party. Oh yeah, we'd win because there are so many Grand Theft Auto fans and Red Dead fans and just general Rockstar fans. If they're PlayStation exclusives, then then people are gonna be like, man, fuck a bunch of Xbox. Fuck anything that isn't PlayStation because Rockstar is just too good. Like if you have Rockstar, you basically win. Like that's it. That's all. Anyway, the next question that Albert asks, he says, "What platinum do you not have? Do you want the most?" Allan.
Which platinum you want? What?
Fucking not even listening.
I was. That's right.
A platinum that you don't have. That you really, really, really want. Like, that you want the most.
I'd like any platinum at this point. I still don't have any.
Don't have any.
You don't have any?
No.
Go home.
I already am home.
Get out of the podcast.
At this point, I would say that the platinum that I want the most is probably also the most attainable is Saints Row the Third.
That's easy.
But
that's a waste of a wish.
Okay, well then, probably one of the BioShocks, BioShock or BioShock Infinite. I'm trying to work on a lot of platinums. I'm trying to get that Dead Space platinum, the Saints Row platinum, Spec Ops platinum. So I guess it would be one of the BioShocks or one of the Batman Arkham games, if I had the skills. Those are my two choices. What about you, Tom?
I'd say Demon Souls because all the ladies would come to me. Just be like, that game's so hard, you're so cool. I'd be like,
You're so
yeah,
clever.
yeah. Because Dark Souls Platinum's easy to get, I just can't be bothered. So I've got all the hard trophies, I just need to do grindy stuff. But Demon Souls, shit's done, man. But if I had that Platinum, wow. It's either that or Just Cause 2. Just Cause 2.
Just cost it.
That's like...
I'm not even gonna bother trying anymore for that one. Huh?
Yeah. That's like giving up 4 years of my life.
Yeah,
No thanks. It's just unobtainable. I'll never get it unless I wish for it and get a Platinum.
Yeah. Albert has one more question for us. He says, what... Lost it. Hold on. What game soundtrack is your favorite? Allan.
Halo 3 ODST.
Oh, what? Sorry, get out. What?
Yep, you heard it right.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Okay, Legend of Mana, okay? Are you happy now, Tom?
No, I'm Googling that. That's not on the PlayStation platform.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
not good enough.
It was a PS1 classic.
I shall let you off then.
Tom. Favorite
I don't know. I'd say probably Metal Gear Solid 3 or no, this got to be games. Oh, it's so memorable though.
It is such a great...
Or maybe even the Uncharted 2 actually has an amazing soundtrack.
That song is stuck in my head.
That's an amazing song. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Uncharted. I think that's got a brilliant.
I'm a big fan of score. Huge fan. I also love Uncharted. It's very hard to choose, really. I love Uncharted. I love the Mass Effect soundtrack. I also, of course, love Grand Theft Auto soundtracks, though those aren't score. We were actually discussing, I think before the show, because we were listening to commercials, that Vice City, I said that Vice City Stories is actually a better soundtrack than Vice City because there's more music and the DJs are funnier. But it's tough. It's tough to choose. It's tough to choose which one is my favorite. I'd say something from Final Fantasy, like all-encompassing, like you can't just choose one Final Fantasy game. Or Zelda. I've always had a very soft spot in my heart for Zelda soundtracks. So, it's tough. It's tough. I'd say probably Zelda though is my favorite.
Seriously, Tom, you're not giving him shit because it's not a non-PlayStation game?
Well, I thought you said Darksiders.
Fuck Darksiders.
It's not on Nintendo though.
It's not a game. Not a good game.
Neither Zelda.
Zelda's a great game. All right, you ain't even played it.
Exactly. I don't play crap.
Go to your nearest hobby shop, get yourself a Super Nintendo, get a Link to the Past, and play that game.
I'll watch a YouTube video and I'll dislike it and go,
it's
lol.
Not the same.
PS3.
You have to experience it to experience it.
No, I'll just go on YouTube videos. Just say,
no.
Do you even lift? Buy PS3.
No.
Yeah.
Kakariko Village from A Link to the Past, the overworld sailing theme from Wind Waker. Those are two of my favorite pieces of score.
It's not on PlayStation.
Final Fantasy is though.
Yes.
So, and I love Final Fantasy.
Yes.
So there's that. Anyway, that's all the questions that we have, and that's gonna about wrap us up for this week. Listeners, please don't forget about our question of the week. How do you feel about the Evil Within? Thank you for listening to VGU.TV's PlayStation Podcast, The DualShock Show. Rate and subscribe to our iTunes under DualShock Show. Please give us 5 stars. Even leave us a review. We want to hear what you're thinking. You know, we like to read comments.
We like to read.
Even if it's just like, you know, man, that host is really an asshole, but I really like the British guy's voice. And Allan's pretty cool too. Please visit our website, VGU.TV. Hang out on our forums.
We don't have forums anymore.
We don't have forums.
We don't have forums anymore? Well, let me just delete this part real quick.
Motherfucking spam bots, y'all.
Too many. Because nobody was actually hanging out on the forums.
God damn it.
I was. It was sad.
You can also find us on Facebook or tweet at us at VGU.TV. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/VGU.TV official, where you can also find this podcast in video format. If you know you're not up in the iTunes, you don't have an iPod, you don't care. DualShock has a Facebook and a Twitter as well. So, you know, you can find us at DualShock Show for both. That's all one word.
And please send us questions. Lots of questions.
And answers, of course, for each week's question.
And horrible comments. Tell us that you hate us.
But yes, DualShock Show, all one word, Facebook and Twitter. Or if you want to tweet at us individually, Allan is at the Allan Muir. That's TheAllanMuir. I am at Mattman07. That's with 2 T's, in case you were wondering. Tom is at Gaming Hobbyist. Or, this is a PlayStation podcast. So if you want to play on the PSN with us, Allan. Sorry, Allan. Allan is that Jew boy. That's that Jew, B-O-I. Don't worry, Allan's Jewish, so we're not being racist. I am Mattman310, also 2 T's, just in case. Tom is Pi_Guy. That's Pi Guy, the guy with the pie, and that's Pi like banana cream, not Pi like the math symbol, because math sucks. Math is boring. Thank you again for listening to DualShock, and we'll see you next time. Never stop playing.